Hey guys, so got a really super awesome new modeling tool. Probably one of the best new modeling tools I've seen for a while. It's kind of based on basically lofting shapes, I guess. But yeah, I'll show you how it works. So, how often do you find that you have a shape, could be cylindrical, and you need all these edges to actually eventually merge into, say, like a cube or so, or a square. So the beauty of this script is it basically uses curves to help you model. So in this instance, say I'm wanting to go into more of a cube sort of shape eventually, and I click on this square here, and as you see, basically what it does is with the edges that I had selected, it creates a cube roughly to that size, or a square to that size. So I'm just going to move this out just a touch, and so reselect those edges and click the execute button. And what you'll notice is if you ever see this pattern here, basically it's just a little indication that you actually need to reverse the flow of the edges. So you just click on this little reverse button, and now we're getting something that looks a bit more reasonable. So one of the problems with when you loft shapes together is that quite often it's really hard to align the edges to the curves, and or from going from one sort of curve to another curve, it's hard to align the CVs with each other. So the beauty of this tool is it actually has a like a shift feature, which allows you to keep on moving around your edges just until they line up perfectly. So here we go, going straight into a sort of a cube shape now, and from here I can just extrude out a bit more, like so. I just want to keep that quite tight. Extrude again. So to do this operation, by hand, it's quite a tedious sort of process, and to do it to this sort of level of accuracy, where everything's evenly distributed, it's really laborious. So the beauty of this tool is that it just does it all for you. There we go. Extruding in, and yeah, here we have basically a circle going into a cube shape. Really fast, really easy. Okay, so it's sort of a cube here. We can also do the same sort of thing. Select the face just randomly. Just grab that selection, and I'll just leave that out. So quite often you're modeling a shape and you decide that you're needing some sort of circular shape to come out of it, or you're needing some sort of circular bevel, or it could be like for a button or something like that. So once again, with those edges selected, I've just clicked on one of these primitives. You can basically use any shape that you want. Like these tools here, that's a rounded cube, and that's just using a Bezier curve to create a sort of random shape. So you can use any shape that you want. Just for this example, I'm just going to show you using some primitive shapes. Okay, so let's rotate that around. Just going to scale that in just a touch. Stick my edges, and I might just actually create just a bit of relief. So I'm just going to just extrude in just a touch, and okay, that's cool. You've also got this little hide button, so just a nice easy way of hiding your polygon shapes, just so you can get your curves. So I'm just going to hide that polygon. Oops, then you go into object mode. Okay, so select my curve, unhide, select my edges, and click execute. Oops, execute. Okay, and once again we're getting that sort of weird pattern. So that's basically when you see it closed over like this, it's just a quick indication that you need to reverse. Okay, so getting this really cool looking pattern here, and as we shift around, you can see that gap getting smaller. So that's an indication that I'm shifting the wrong way. So I'm just going to go to the right. As you see, as it gets larger, you'll start to see the edges start to align. And oops. One. Okay, so here we go, getting something the edges are quite nicely aligned, or aligned enough. You've also got like quite a fine adjustment sort of thing, just so if you want to get it really precise, and then just do smaller increments. Okay, so that's looking quite cool, and I'm just going to extrude that out. Like so, and extrude again. So straight off the bat, getting this nice like curve shape coming out of a cube. And as I said, it's usually quite a laborious sort of thing to do. You also have just a nice cool little feature, is that you can select like an edge like this. I think I've actually still got my curve there actually, yeah I do. Okay, so just delete that. Some edges. You can just right click on this button here and just go polygon edges to curve, and basically that's the same as so if I select this edge loop here, going to edit, modify, convert, and just polygon edges to curve. So that does the same sort of thing, but it's done, and it's done with settings that I recommend. Okay, so I'm just going to select my curve. Oops, actually select the edges that I'm wanting to tidy up just a little bit. So these ones here, and so I'm just going to hide that. Select my curve. And I'm just going to click on this button here, which is basically blend shapes the curve to the edges. So I'm going to click on that, and you can see we've got like a little blend shape over here. So as I click on this guy and just scroll that out, you can see, and I'll put my wireframe on so you can see exactly what it's doing. So it's just blend shaping all the way to the edges. So once I've got that in a place where I'm pretty happy with, so maybe about there, just about halfway. I mean, I probably could have just inserted an edge loop. But in this instance, I'm going to select my curve, select the edges, and I'm just going to execute that. And as you can see, those edges have been pulled out for me. And now I'm going to smooth this, and I'm just going to delete the curve. I'm getting this slightly smooth shape, which is quite useful. So really good modeling tool. I'll just quickly create a bottle just to show you once more just how easy it is to just to go from shape to shape, or to model in like circular shapes or any sort of shape internally. So polygon cube, and I might just so I'm thinking maybe like a wine bottle or an oil bottle or something. So let's make this 1.5 for the heights. Let's open up the dark arts. So I'm looking to include this into the next update of the dark arts tool, which we're coming out really soon. I've just been tied up with a few things, but okay, so I'm just gonna say 8 for our subdivisions, and I might just make it 12 for the height, just so it's a little bit more uniform in this instance. Okay, so let's go to my front end view, and I'm just going to delete off that top row of the faces. Okay, so basically the same sort of principle. So I'm going to select my edges. I'm going to click on my circle tool, and so it's created the curve. And so this will be the base of the bottle, and this will be just the upper part of it. So maybe around the base of the neck. So I'm just going to bring that in a touch. Okay, that looks cool. Now I'm going to select my edges, and I'm just going to click the execute button. And once again, I'm just getting this funky sort of twisty going on. So as I click on the shift, you'll see that that hole's getting smaller, which is once again, this is that quick indication that I'm going the wrong direction. So as I come around, you can see we're getting this nice twist shape. So you can obviously use that as an effect. For this example, I'm just going to keep it all nice and straight. So that's all looking good and straight and uniform. And I'll click the free button. You can see perfectly modelled, really tidy, and yeah, everything's just really uniform. So it's really nice. Okay, so we're just going to select the edge there. Actually, I might just bring that in just a touch bit more. So we're scaling it, and I'm just going to go to my edges, extrude that up for the neck. A little bit more, and one more extrude. That can be the top of the bottle. Okay, so that's looking pretty cool. Okay, and let's just extrude in just a touch, like so, and I'll just extrude in just a bit more. So maybe the designers of this bottle have gone really fancy, and they're like, oh, let's create like a bit more of a cube shape at the top. So I'll just extrude that in on my square, and so I'll just click on my cube, scale that in just a touch till I'm happy, which is somewhere about there, looks good. Okay, so now I'm just going to reselect those edges, and click the execute button. And you can see we get that funny sort of pattern where it's closed up, so just another, once again, that indication to reverse it. And we'll just start shifting around until it all lines up nicely. Okay, so yeah, that's looking good. And let's just extrude this in a bit. So we get nice, just a nice shape coming in. And extrude again. And maybe it's a bit of a swimming pool sort of thing at the top. So that's all quite nice. And once again, I'm just going to be fancy and say, yeah, let's have a circular shape at the top. So I'll click on our circle. There, we've got edges selected, go edge. Click on that, click execute, in that funny shape again, so let's just reverse it, and we're just going to shift around until it's all nice and straight for us. Okay, so that's looking pretty good, and if I click on that edge and click extrude, let's get some sort of nice bevel at the top, and we can extrude down. There we go, got a pretty fancy looking shape really quickly, and like to model this normally it'd be yeah, it's quite a tedious sort of painstaking procedure to do. So there we go, nice bottle, really fancy kind of top to it, and yeah, really fast. Okay, one of the other sort of really common features that people generally do is that you'll come around later and you'll be like, oh, maybe if that edge was a bit more, like just a bit sharper in that. So I can double click on that, double click on that, double click on this, double click on this, and yeah, we're looking pretty good. And we'll just double click on that, and let's just build with this. Now, some of you will know straight away the issue that I'm going to have. So I'm just going to click on this bevel. Let's just add a couple of segments in there just so we're getting a slightly sharper shape. Okay, so let's just smooth preview this, and so we're getting that nice bevel going on, everything's nice and sharp, which is cool. Maybe I'll just kind of release it just a little bit just so it looks a bit more prettier. So let's just up that fraction to maybe 1, maybe 2. Okay, so 3's looking pretty good. Okay, so we're getting this nice sort of shape coming off. One of the problems that we're going to be getting and is that we've got these edges coming into it, and it's really illustrated if I take that fraction to something that's quite small. So 1, for example. So you're starting to see this line that's appearing here, and it's a really common sort of thing that you get, especially when you're going into a cylindrical shape. And I'm sure a lot of modelers, sort of cursed at that sort of thing happening. And the good thing about this tool is it averages your vertices out, which is quite nice. So what I can do is I can quickly select those edges there. Actually, I might just delete the history on this, just so it's a bit of a cleaner shape, so we don't have all that nasty sort of history going on. Okay, so now with these edges selected, I'm just going to go poly edges to curve, like so. Yeah, I'm actually not quite liking the sort of curve that I'm getting. I think I want something a bit more rounded. So I'm just going to undo that and reselect those edges, and I'm just going to click on my circle tool. Okay, so I'm going to select those edges, and I'm just going to execute again. And you can see we're getting this beautiful looking shape here. So let's just shift around, move the other way. Let's throw my wireframe on so I can see what's happening. And I'm just going to go to my front view just to make sure that it's got all these edges perfectly straight. Okay, so that's looking good. And as you can see, what we're getting around here is we're getting a nicely averaged edges. And I mean, I could have done that straight off the curve that I created off the edges, but since I'm using a cylindrical shape, I might as well just use a circle. Okay, so I'm just going to do the same sort of process here again, and stick my edges, and I'm just going to click the execute button, and let's just shift around until it's all nice and straight again. Once again, like these are processes that like if you had to do it by hand, it'd be really tedious and just real painstaking. So the good thing about this is that it's a lot faster. It's a lot more automated, And yeah, you get pretty much perfect results. So you're getting like a perfectly modeled object each time. So I'm just going to do the same sort of process again. Those selected, I'm going to create a curve, go back, select my edges, and click the execute button. And I'm just going to shift around. Oops, maybe the other way. As you can see, it's all opening up, so we're getting straighter. And we're just about there. Okay, bang on, perfect. Okay, so I can do the same thing here again. I might just use the, I've used the polygon edges to curve to do it, which that's looking fine at the top. And then I reselect the edges and click the execute. It gets it like a lot more in the neighborhood sort of thing, like straight away. So now I can just rotate it around, sort of getting there. Get back one that way, and I'm just gonna use the fine adjust just until I'm happy with how straight it is. Okay, so that one's looking pretty good, and I might just do it on this curve over here too. So I'm just gonna do a circle, select my edges again, and click the execute. And let's just shift around. Oops, closing up. So let's just go the other way. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so let's smooth this out and let's have a look at what we've got. So I'm just going to delete off these extra curves that I don't need. Take my bottle, delete, take the wireframe off, and yeah, pretty much got this perfectly modeled object. So if I throw the wireframe on, and even if I just you know, take off the smooth preview, you can see everything's perfectly even, everything's nicely aligned, and yeah, we've got a really complicated shape really fast. Like to model that, you know, to that sort of quality, that speed will take a lot longer. And once again, you know, like the beauty of this tool is, you know, like say if I wanted some sort of spout or something coming out of here. Actually, I might screw that just a touch, so I can create some edges. Use my circle tool, rotate that around, and I mean it doesn't have to be a planar as well. It can, you know, be like something that's like that. For instance, maybe I just want to bring that in. Once again, I'll just extrude in just to give myself a bit of relief. And okay, object mode, select my curve, select my edges, and execute that. Nice, funky looking shape. And yeah, I mean it's perfect for if you need to twist an object. Okay, so let's just go back the other way until we've got something that's looking quite aligned, and that's looking good. Okay, and so we're ready to, I mean we can extrude over here if we want, or I can even just, you know, double click on these edges here, and I can just use my circle tool, rotate that around 90 degrees, select my edges again, execute, and let's just shift that until we're happy. Okay, that's looking pretty much perfect, and let's just smooth that out. And yeah, perfectly modelled. And once again, with this sort of thing, you'd probably just give it a bit more relief in that, as opposed to, you know, how I've modelled it here. But the pure example of this is just to show you just how quick it is to do. I'll just expand that out a bit so we can get something that's a bit nicer. Get object mode, and yeah, it's looking really nice, really fast. So that's the polygon edges to curve. I'll show you just one other quick example, something that was, you know, came in really handy when I was did a model a stall not too long ago. So this basically the stall was a basically just a plane. So I'm going to create a plane. So basically this stall here is something that, you know, you can just easily integrate into your everyday modeling, just because it averages things. It makes it a lot easier if you're using curves to model things. So I'll show you the quick example of what I had to model. It was just basically a stall. So I'm just going to put my subdivisions to maybe just 20 for this instance, since I need to bend it around, and I'll set it to 1, and I'll just really quickly just create the shape that I had to do. So basically the stool was it was a piece of metal that was wrapped around. So when they were obviously creating it, they must have used a just a plane and just bent it around. So I'm just going to use a bend deformer on that. So if I go non-linear, go bend, and let's just spin this guy around. And if I just pull that in, so that was like the relative shape for the base of that. So we had just I used that to create this cylindrical sort of shape at the base, and then the top of it, basically it went like this sort of thing. So there was a slight slant on it, and that merged into just a big cylinder for the actual seat of the stool. So I'm just going to move that over, so somewhere around there. Move that further over, so I'm just going to make it bigger. Okay, so I'm just going to change the radius to maybe 2, and the height to maybe 0.5, and I'm just going to give myself quite a few subdivisions just for the moment, just to illustrate the example of how you can use this guy. Okay, so let's just say 64, maybe let's double that, just for an example. You don't want to use too many edges if you can avoid it, but okay. So this was basically what I had, and I actually might just increase it just a little bit more just for this example. So let's take it up to 200. So that's looking pretty cool. I might actually take it down to 150. Okay, so basically what I had is I had these edges up here, and I needed to basically merge them into the stool. And I mean, you could do that just by snapping, which is, you know, a little bit laborious and that. Or you can do it this way. So we've got 20 edges, and basically I just need 20 edges up here to do it really nicely. So I can click over here, and well, I've got no center point here, so I'm just going to just change the division slightly. So maybe we go 128, so that's pretty good. Okay, so it's going to need 20 edges, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we go from there to there. Okay, and with those edges selected, I'm just going to go polygon edges to curve, and it's basically just created a quick curve for me. And now just with this guy here, I get edges, select that, and I just can't see my objects, so I'm just going to bring up my outliner, select my poly to curve, which is just over here, and click the execute button. And as you can see straight away, we're perfectly merged into there. Everything's all uniform and matching up with the divisions that I have up here. Really good modeling tool. This totally recommended. It's probably one of the best sort of new modeling tools I'd say that's out there. So I hope you guys enjoy it. And yeah, I am looking to integrate this into the dark arts very shortly. So keep an eye out for that. People that are already bought the dark arts. Okay. Well, I'll see you guys later. Enjoy.